Welcome to Coaching for Creatives with Kirsten. My name is Kirsten Call. I'm a therapist-trained life coach and a children's book author. Together, we'll get the drama out of our lives and onto the page. Let's get started. You are listening to episode 94, Saying No. Saying no is hard. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to inconvenience people by not doing what they've asked of me. I don't want to disappoint people. And truthfully, I want approval. I don't want to deal with the judgment I think I might get if I do say no. I recently had someone ask if they could stay at my house with their family for a few days. Normally, this wouldn't be a problem, but this particular week was a doozy. And between traveling and regattas and marching band competitions and book festivals, I didn't feel like I could do it. In the past, I may have ignored this feeling and said yes, and then overextended and perhaps felt resentful, all the while trying to keep it all together. But now that I'm 49, I'm more willing to be authentic and real. So although it was hard, I said no. But I offered to have the family for dinner so we could still connect when they're in the area. My response to their request was, I'd love to have you over for dinner, but unfortunately, there's too much going on over here for you to stay with us. This response was honest and still hopefully connecting. As a recovering people pleaser, I understand how hard it is to say no, and I've been working on it for years. We agree to things we don't really want to do because we think saying no is even more painful than saying yes. We want to preserve our relationships and be kind, but we need to remember to also be kind to ourselves. So here are some ways to be authentically kind while also saying no. Number 1, remember a good no can feel like a yes. If we need to say no to something, it's a good practice to think about what we can say yes to. For me, I could say yes to dinner, even though I couldn't say yes to the family staying with me. Perhaps someone asks you to volunteer in a classroom weekly, and it's not feasible. Think about what is feasible. Can you volunteer once a month? Can you pay for supplies or books? Can you read to the class once a quarter? If you say yes to something and offer what you can offer before you say no to what was requested, your honesty is rewarded and your connection with that person remains strong. Number 2, include an I love you in your no. We are uncomfortable with saying no because we're worried the other person will feel rejected and hurt by our no. So we can clear that up immediately by telling them the truth. When people I know ask me to be their therapist or to coach them for free, I say, I love you, but no. I don't do therapy for friends, and coaching comes at a cost. People get it. If you don't feel comfortable saying I love you, say something positive like, I love working with you, but I can't this time, etc. Number 3, practice it ahead of time. Practicing saying no in an authentic and kind way helps. Perhaps role play with a trusted friend or family member. In the moment, it's hard to say no if you've never practiced saying no in a way that feels kind. Number 4, most people are glad when you're honest. Some people always say yes. If someone always says yes, I worry about asking them to help because I don't want them to do something they don't want to do just because I asked. I'm glad when I know someone will say no when needed, because then when they do help, I know they aren't resenting me. I know the help is genuine. I know they want to be there. Number 5, saying yes is lying. If we say yes to something we don't want to do and do it anyway, we're not being authentic. It's not respectful of yourself or of the person you're helping, which leads me to number 6. We like authenticity. We can tell when someone is pretending or hiding something. They seem off and it's hard to hang out with them. Authentic people are the easiest people to be around. They are fun. They are our favorites. I interview people on my podcast for Picture Book Look, and some of my most favorite interviews on this podcast are the people who are so openly authentic that they make me feel more of who I already am. Like they make me become a better person just by interviewing them. It's incredible. Number 7, people can tell how we really feel. When we say yes out of guilt, people can tell by our body language or our tone of voice. People are experts at reading microexpressions and can tell if we're really willing. Have you ever had the feeling that someone who is helping you would rather be doing something else? It's a terrible feeling. Number 8, when you say no, it gives others permission to say no. If you're uncomfortable saying no to others, they are probably uncomfortable saying no to you too. Allowing yourself to say no frees others to be honest and authentic. I would rather have someone say no to me than to have them say yes and then resent me for the help they're giving me. Number 9, you may be enabling the person's weaknesses by saying yes. I've been thinking about this a lot with my ADHD children. Almost every day, someone leaves their laptop or medication or instrument or lunch at home and they want me to bring it to school. With my older children, who are now at college, I was much more likely to tell them no when they requested for me to bring things to school. The youngest two have a different mother. I'm more likely to say yes and less likely to say no. And I have reasons. Medication is important for the day. If you don't eat, you won't learn. So lunch is essential. If they don't have their laptop, then the day is shot, right? But am I really helping them by enabling them to forget things every day without consequence? What will happen when they aren't living at home with someone who can bring things to them at their whim? I actually do say no sometimes. When I've got appointments all day and no time to run to the high school. When I have what I think is a legitimate excuse. But last night I had a chat with my youngest about gathering all of his things the night before so he can leave without forgetting essential things. I warned him I won't be bringing things to school anymore. And even though many days I feel willing and able to bring things to him, I don't think it's the best for him in the long run. He needs to learn how to remember things. And if that means he sets alarms on his phone or puts things in the car the night before, that's something that needs to happen. And when he inevitably forgets something and has to pay the consequences, last week he marched without his trumpet, then that lesson will hopefully help him remember the next time. Number 10, give people permission to disapprove. People will judge you whether you say yes or no or something in between. We don't like being judged, but our brains are wired to judge. So if we struggle to say no because we're worried we'll be judged by others, we just need to acknowledge we're always being judged. So give people permission to think what they're going to think because they're going to do it anyway. It's okay for them to judge. It's okay for them to disagree with you. It's okay if they don't understand you. For me, allowing people to think what they're going to think is very freeing. Number 11, saying no makes the yes infinitely better. Helping other people is a beautiful way to connect with people. But if we help unwillingly, it's not beautiful. It's not beautiful at all. When we say yes and mean yes, the service we give people is so much more meaningful and connecting. So, next time you're asked to do something you don't feel like you can authentically say yes to, say no. Say no in a way that feels like a yes. Know that your authenticity will shine through and connect you with people who are your people. Until next time, keep smiling. If you like what you've heard, check out my Get Yourself Unstuck program. Go to KirstenCall.com. That's KirstenCall.com and schedule a free consultation today. Coaching for Creatives is produced by Kirsten Call. Music and audio engineering by James Call.